snap a shot of wherever he's at and be like, oh, that's an Instagrammable shot.
So until this fine day in the year 2022, I had no idea who this guy was. I just looked him up, and I was okay with the eighth picture rather, being a half naked dude sprawling across a bed.
He's a gorgeous man.
Until you just said he's been around forever. So I looked it up. The guy was born in 1985. Do you have any idea how bad about myself I feel right now? Like this picture.
That's what I'm saying. He's not that much younger than us.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you're like, wow, he looks really good for his age.
Thinking to myself, God, this guy gets no sleep and drinks too much bourbon too. Yeah, that must be.
Yeah, you know what? If we had trainers like waking us up and working us out every day, I'm sure we could look like that too.
Yeah, I'm sure he trims the jawline beard just like I do to look a little bit thinner in the morning. You know,
he's Portuguese, man. He's Portuguese. They just have that nice tan skin.
Right.
Oh, he's Portuguese.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Well, so, okay, what's the population of the US? I don't even know. A few hundred million? What is it? 300 million?
Oh, no, what is it? It's like 1 billion, 2 billion? No.
Oh shit, I don't know. I should have Googled it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to gain perspective on this. If he has 410 million followers, like how
yeah, population of the US is right around 330 million.
Oh yeah, I was way off.
More than the entire population of our country, people not only like even more than that know who he is, right? But like took the time to go to Instagram to follow and so that they could see the picture of him in his underwear on the bed. I mean, good for him.
It's very interesting because we talk about today, we're not a superficial, society. Like we don't, women of all shapes and sizes, men of all shapes and sizes,
right.
We're equality, things like that. But you look at social media still, and you can still see that there's a standard that people love. And I think that he checks all those boxes. You have world renowned traveler, in places. I mean, if he was only living in the US, getting some of I'm sure there's gorgeous places here in the US, but some of the places that he goes, you're not going to get those type of photos.
Nope.
And people love to see things that they never can see. Yep. And I think that's the popular and the draw to Instagram. And he just has access to so much.
Right.
No, I mean, he's, right. and again, I'm not gay, but he is a gorgeous man. If he made a pass, I mean, if he looked at me straight in the eye, Philip, I don't know if I could say no.
Well, okay, but let's think about this for a second, right? Like what sells a paperback romance novel? It's not the content of the book, it's the cover.
I thought that was a rhetorical question.
It's that hot bod on the front.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? If you look
sex still sells.
Sex sells. If you look at the classic paperback novel, you've got a Fabio-looking guy most of the time, like the classic '90s Fabio, long hair. He's usually like shirt buttoned down to here, riding like a horse or something, and like a little bit of battle damage, like he's bleeding from his arm.
Yeah, scars are sexy. Scars are sexy,
right? But it just sells. So the fact that this guy's 8th picture is him naked on a bed, basically, that's what's selling his Instagram. It's not because he's edgy and interesting.
I think I agree with you, but at the same time, you look at some of his other videos on there and some of the reels, he's showing them things of what he does in his life. Again, that it's when you have somebody that experiences things that others don't have any clue. And I think this is where the positive of social media can come into play. You're getting to see a glimpse of what their life can be like. Now, this is where it's deceptive to me. In my opinion, is you're seeing only a sliver, right? Yeah. You like right before, and everyone knows it's like shooting a movie. You could have a bunch of shit right up until you call action, and then it's gold, and then cut, and it could be shit again.
Okay.
So
Okay, hang on. So I challenge, and here's why. Do you guys remember Hot Felon? The gentleman who went viral, who
yes.
became famous for his mug shot.
Yes, he had the blue eyes and the
yeah. Super symmetrical face, right? Ripped, tattoos everywhere, the teardrop, the works. And he becomes a runway model because of his mug shot. Remember him, right?
Yes.
Okay, so his name is Jeremy Meeks. I just looked him up. He has 1.6 million followers on Instagram. Okay. And if your point's going to be, well, yes, he's doing interesting things. People, hang on. I also just
I
took
love the
time-
rebuttal.
I also just took the time to look up Mr. Gary Busey on Instagram. Now, Gary Busey does interesting things all the time.
Yes, he does.
He's lived a life that nobody, very interesting. Okay. But Crazy Pants, Gary Busey has only 64,500 followers compared to 1.6 million
But
from Hot Felon.
The other thing I'd be curious is how often is Gary Busey posting and putting stuff up?
Evidently quite often, but it's not the most
Well, with that face.